of course, with Collabro, and it's been a while since I've seen you guys, and it's just been the most incredible few months possible for you. You've been in America, Tom. What's it been like?
Yeah, we have. We got a really good reception when we went over there last time. We went to New York and LA, and people actually flew across America to come to both shows, which is amazing. This time, we just did the East Coast. We did Natick, Sellersville, and New York. So we did a little tour of there. But again, people couldn't have been more supportive. It's amazing the kind of sound you get from the crowds over there.
The Collabro story has just been incredible. Just remind us, for anyone who may have forgotten, we have told this story a few times, so you shouldn't have forgotten, but if you have, just remind us how Collabro all came about.
Well, basically, Matt and I, we were on a contract for a kind of holiday sort of contract abroad. He was in Spain and I was in Cyprus, and we were just a bit sick of not kind of getting the auditions for the West End and getting into the West End and all that kind of stuff. It's very difficult nowadays, so we thought we'd try and get something together that would be for corporate use, like cruises and stuff. And it was a 5-piece musical theatre boy band. And then when we sang for the first time, we just were so bowled over by the sound that we were making that we wanted to take it to a bigger audience. And then the Britain's Got Talent auditions came around, and that's sort of where it all happened.
So how did the five of you actually all come together then?
Well, above a pub in London Bridge. We were all just there randomly. No, so basically the boys then looked out on Facebook and sort of contacted each one of us separately. They found myself on YouTube, and we all got together and started singing. And that's sort of when we realised actually we could do something bigger than just cruise ships and corporates, which obviously is fun. But we thought, hey, we want to take this to a bigger audience. Britain's Got Talent was the answer.
That first time when you must have all started singing together, it must have been an instant realisation that this was not just the normal 5-piece band singing together. It must have felt incredible to hear the sound.
Yeah, well, we originally were going to sing Bring Him Home for the first audition, but we then decided we'd sing Stars, just have a run-through, see what it sounded like, and there's a chord on the Flame, the Sword, and there's that chord, and we hit that chord, and we just thought, wow, this is a song we need to do, and we did, and it went a bit better than we thought it would.
I think the incredible thing about Collabro is that, you started off being a band singing musical songs, but you've occasionally moved away from that, and you can pretty much sing anything in Collabro style. That must be quite amazing. You must get such a good reception from that.
Yeah, definitely. I remember the first day we went into Simon Cowell's office, and there was a piece of paper on the desk in front of us, and it said, All of Me, John Legend, and we all thought, that's not from a musical, is it? But no, that was the first pop cover we did in the studio, and we just, when we were singing it, we thought, this is amazing. We have an amazing vocal arranger, Richard John, and yeah, it's so great. We've sort of coined the term the Collabro sound. So give us any song. We now do swing songs, we do, as you say, pop songs, obviously musical theatre. I think we've even tried a bit of opera in different languages. When we went to Japan, we sang I Dreamed a Dream in Japanese, so that's pretty exciting. So yeah, we can do anything.
From Louth, who has you've done so much in Louth before you came to London. You actually moved here before you were in Collabro, though.
Yeah, I moved here quite a little while, actually. I went for uni, but before that, when I was in Louth, I was in the local playgoers for a long time, for a good few years. I did a show with them when I was 8 called All My Sons, and kept doing shows. Well, I played the little boy, was it Bert, I think his name is, yeah. So I have this, there's a guy in our town who, I don't know him by name, I know him as Mr. Keller. He's a good family friend, but I only know him as Mr. Keller because of that play. I kept doing that until I left. I was in the local choir at St. James as well. But I came to London and came to uni, tried to get into the West End. It's very, very difficult, as Jamie said. So I was, pleased as pie when Collabro came along.
And how do you then decide where Collabro's going next? Do you have a say in what you're doing? Are you able to go to your label, to go to your people and say, this is what we want to try? Or are you still at the stage where you're being dictated to what you want to do? Dictated is probably the wrong word, but are you being told what they expect you to do?
You know, in the start, because we'd never been in the music industry before, obviously we listened to their opinions and we followed what they thought would be best. You know, now we're kind of thinking we want to do something different, we want to do something a bit more upbeat. So we've started adding some swing numbers into our sets. And it's always good to do that at corporates and shows and stuff because you can gauge a reaction from the audience, and they've been absolutely loving it. So I think we're going to add some more for tour and add some surprises in there, and just some more upbeat stuff just to get people going.
The thing I have noticed about you, and so many bands say that you're still grounded and that you're just normal people, but I have noticed you are so normal, and you haven't changed since the first time I met you. And I know you were in reception of this building that we're in, and you're trading DVDs, and you were showing each other your new shoes. What do you do though when you're not at work, when you're not on tour? Because I think you've had a few days where you've not seen each other. What do you still do to try and relax and just to feel normal?
I think we all do different things. I mean, I personally like to play Xbox. So that's my kind of escapism. And I also joined Lathwaite's wine company and just keep getting boxes of wine delivered. And now I've got like the most ridiculous amount of wine. So that's another thing that I quite enjoy doing.
Every time we have a day off, we're still, on WhatsApp to each other constantly, just sending each other, like, funny pictures or anything. So, really, we're never actually apart.
And so, the new material you're working on as well, when can we expect to start seeing that coming out? Will that be during the tour?
As I think Richard was saying earlier, last tour we tried out a few songs just to kind of gauge reaction. And they ended up on the second album, so we're gonna have a think about what we want to try out maybe on this second tour, whether it be swing or musical theatre or pop, and see how the audience like it, see if we get a reaction from that, and you might be seeing it on the next album.
And just remind us again, you're coming to Grimsby. When can we see you and how can we get tickets?
That's on the 1st of April. I promise we'll be there. It's not an April Fool's. You can get tickets from gigsandtours.com, or you can ring up Grimsby Auditorium themselves.
Thank you so much for chatting to us today. Thank you for travelling into central London. I know you're coming just for this chat. And we're going to end with just another one of your songs from your album, something you'll be performing on tour. What's the final track going to be?
The final track is going to be Memory from Cats.